Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Jen Fessler, you are so two-faced. You are a two-faced, low-down, dirty dog. And excuse me, Louie? You called John Fuda ugly, or he not cute, or he's you? Wait a minute. Louie. Louie the lobster. Louis the Red Lobster, you have no right, you have no room to talk about someone else's looks. What am I talking about, besties? We are talking about, you and I, we're talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 14, episode 3, Shoring Up Sides. Baby, this episode, what are we going to rate it? I'm not sure, but this is Behind the Shade. Welcome back. Like, subscribe to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back. Be respectful in the comments because there's no other way you would treat your bestie. Review, give your opinion and your comments about the show, not about mine. My eyes show me what my TV, my eyes see what my TV shows me. That's going to be my thing. My eyes see what my TV shows me. Okay? How would you rate the episode? Uh, it was okay. Nothing. I'm gonna give it a C. It's gonna get a solid C. What do you rate it? Okay, let's go. Let's get into it. Behind the shade. So they're at Rachel's house. Fessler and Danielle, aka Barbie and Ken, are matching. They're up sitting in the backyard eating muffins, talking about Nate's party. They love the choir. John asked Jen, where did she disappear to? Knowing he knows where she went, but he wanted to, this is his way of bringing it up. They're talking about the choir. They loved it. And I said last week how only white people are going to be sitting there dancing and jamming to gospel music. Jan Fassler says she enjoyed it, but she doubts if she listens to it because she's Jewish. Talked to Teresa, Paul and Frank heard her say that the plan wasn't executed. This again, the envelope never opened. There was no beef with Louis and Teresa. And they're like, well, what happened at her party? Talking about John when he was 17 years old. And about the selling drugs and biggest drug seller and the dealer in somebody's county, Bergen County. Rachel says that Jen Fessler is stupid because a few months ago she didn't even want to be in the same room with Teresa and Louis. Exactly. That's probably what brought them close to also, right? So at Joe and Melissa's house, they're getting ready for Joe's 49th birthday party. And Marge is talking to Dolores on the phone. Teresa and Louis had left already because they got to go back home and get Gabriella ready for college. She's leaving that day. Dolores feels bad because she's leaving Jen Aiden's house to go to Joe's party without her because she's not invited, And so Marge says so much. She could come. She could come too. She should just talk to Melissa. What? Talk to Melissa now so that she can invite her to the party? Is that how that works? So at Jennifer Aiden's, she's cooking this big old Turkish breakfast for Paul and Dolores, and her husband Bill made it back. He made it there because we haven't seen him, and this is episode 3. This is our first time seeing Bill. And they talk about the party and how it was awkward being at the party. Well, yeah. And not being able to talk to certain people. And so Dolores tells Jennifer, why don't you talk to Melissa? And she's like, well, Melissa avoids me, and I just don't know why. So production shows us clips of them trying to hash things out, but it just doesn't work. Like Jennifer is a minion of Teresa. So how is it gonna work when you're a minion of Teresa's and Teresa and Melissa don't get along? How's that gonna work? So Melissa feels like Jennifer instigates things and she has this blind loyalty to Teresa. And Melissa tried to move forward with her last year, but Jen spreaded the cheating rumors about Melissa. So, no, ma'am, we're not doing that. And you got to be careful about rumors with people who are married and you're married. You know, you could be, you know, what goes, you're setting yourself up for some bad karma, girl. You better chill out. Jen feels like they did her dirty. Danielle said it, and it came, you know, Danielle said the rumor, but it came from, she said it, I would say she spreaded the rumor, but the rumor came from Marge. And Marge need to be careful too, but I don't think she got nothing to worry about. Joe just follows her around like a little dog. Anyway, Melissa feels like her she said, you know, Melissa feels like her bleep don't stink. There's no accountability. They think they're great. What? And so Melissa says, well, she's looking for an excuse to be mad at her. And then Margaret agrees. So then she's so, and she's like, she was just so sweet to me at the party. It was just so weird. Jennifer Aiden was so sweet to Margaret. Um, so who calls over there? So I think she's like, well, call her and invite her and Bill to come over. And so Joe is like, I'll call my friend. It's been a while. I'll give him a call. So he calls him and he calls him Tony the Turk. And he's like, come to my birthday party. I miss you. And they're like, yeah. What's up, brother? And then, oh, silly Jennifer Aiden's in the background. He's not your brother. It's like, oh my God, girl. Oh my God. Will you stop? Let the men have the men talk, okay? And they're like, you know, last year we had so much fun. And so Bill said that Jennifer and Mel, you know, they need to talk first. There's some things that they need to hash out. Well, I'm not, you know, so pretty much, no, he's not coming. They're not coming. They need to talk. So Jen is finally happy that Bill finally stood up for her. And, you know, she talking her smack like he better be scared of me. Ain't nobody scared of you, girl. So back at Teresa's house, they're home getting Gabriella ready for college. All the there's boxes, moving boxes everywhere. And Gia's crying. And so their dad FaceTimes them from the Bahamas. Joe's on the screen. And so they're like, hi, Joe. Hi, Teresa. It's like a repaired relationship, should I say. They're letting bygones be bygones. They moved on, but it's really cute how they're, hi, Joe. Hi, Teresa. Wow. So then Louis walks in the room with his Starbucks. He ruins the moment with the kids and the fan. Like, stepdad, can you just step out the way? Can these people have a moment with their daddy? Like, you don't always have to barge in do you have to barge in all the time? So he comes up with Starbucks, you know, here. And everyone speaks, you know, he speaks to Joe. What's up, bro? What's up? That was nice. And so productions, oh, messy, but as Teresa is Joe helping with college? So messy. But I was we're here for the answer. Teresa said no, that he's still trying to get his life together in the Bahamas. And so Teresa says she's just happy that she can pay for things. And it's like, wow. And then she's like, is Louis, so then production asks, is Louis helping out? And she's like, yeah. Really? Where Louis money get? Where he get his money from? Maybe he is helping. That's good if he is. He's supposed to. And maybe that's why he feel like he can walk in that room and barge in with the Starbucks just to rub it in Joe's face, like, I got your family and I'm buying Starbucks while you can barely pay your phone bill in the Bahamas. And what is Joe doing? So, okay, he's trying to be closer to the family. Okay, Bahamas. I get it. Okay. So the movers come. It gets the baby's things. She's gonna major in economics because this the parents going to jail has affected all the girls. G is in school trying to become an attorney, and now Gabriella is going to school for economics. Go girl, go girls! So happy for them. You talk about how some good came out of something bad. The girls don't seem like they've been too affected or they've been healed properly or guided properly throughout the mess. It seems like they don't have any hardships with any parents. Um, and they're able to succeed, and that's good. That's what we want. Okay, where did I leave off? Okay, Teresa and Louis talk about the night before, and that's when Teresa asked him, "Did Joe speak to you?" And he's like, "No, that loser." And Teresa's like, and it's like, what? I mean, I could talk about my siblings, but you can't. You letting this man call your brother a loser? What is Joe losing at? Oh, probably, yeah, whatever. But that's just, oh, I just hate that for Teresa. Why is Teresa like this? What happened? Okay. Yeah, this gets on my nerves. So then Jen Fesser told Teresa that John is mad because they think she said he's the biggest drug dealer in Bergen County, as in like right now. Teresa was talking about when he was 17, but she didn't say that. It seems like she was talking about right now. And she was like, right now, I would never say that. Their production shows her saying that 4 days ago. And it's like, you hear, you ask, you know, that's what she goes by. Because the commotion, all causing the commotion about bringing the manila envelope. And then, Louis says that John is ugly. And I'm like, wait, you said somebody's ugly? Like I said before, you, Louis the Lobster, are you serious? You got a lot of nerves. You need to be sitting in that tank with them lobsters, that red lobster. You red and pink and red fuchsia lobster. You are a lobster. You need to be quiet. So she thanks Louis and admits, what? Oh, they were talking about the manila envelope, and they wanted someone to just admit that you did it and I'll let it go. I think that was who was that? Was that John trying to get Teresa to admit she said it and he'll let it go and she won't? Teresa, she's not. And so Teresa's telling Louis, I'm sorry to bring you around. You handled it well. And then he's all, well, I'm just sorry you had to deal with that. Oh my gosh, shut up. I'm just so sorry you have to deal with all of this. Teresa, just think about the kids. We're in our love bubble. They're good. And they start kissing. Look like they're getting ready to have happy time on the couch outside. So back at the house, at Melissa's house, everyone's getting ready for Joe's party. Rachel and John got Joe a blow-up doll named Josephina. Josephina. Dolores thanks Jen for staying over. She's getting ready to leave and go to the party. And Jennifer Aiden and her kids are going to the boardwalk for the day to have some fun. So at Melissa's and Joe's, people are showing up for his party. She has everything decked out and decorated. It's kind of like an Italian theme. She said she wasn't trying to go overboard, but it was a little over the board for me. The cake was Italian, some kind of tower, and then she had the what are the colors? Red, green, and white. She kind of had that in sequence with the decorations. It was Italian. It was definitely giving Italian vibes. So John comes in with Josephina, and Joe was juiced to get Josephina. Like, hey, yeah, okay. You know how Joe is fun and he goes with the flow and he loves fun. And so the kids are embarrassed. Joe's boys are embarrassed. And so Melissa is like, ew. And so what it is the lips look like the women's private. So Melissa threatens Joe about the doll, and you're little, blah 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 blah. And he's like, it's not little, it's not little. So then we see Jackie coming. Oh brother, no Evan. Where's Evan? He didn't come. Dolores and Polly come. Frank and Brittany are there. So Jackie hears about Nate's party and doesn't understand why she was left out. Girl, you don't like Danielle. Duh. The guys, Joe, Paul, Frank, John, and Joe, they all talk about the confrontation. Frank asked John about the double-headed dildo. And everyone laughs. So now Paul and Johnson, when they cooled out, they're cool. They can laugh again, and that's what I like about men. They can phone, get into it, blah blah blah, but they don't hold grudges too much. They can kind of say what they gotta say and go on about their business, be cool again. Marge tells Rachel that Joe called Bill, and Bill declined the invitation. Talking about the girls need to talk. Rachel says she wouldn't have came either. And so she would have came either because the girls do need to talk. Like Teresa's calling her and saying this is a safe environment, and Marge wants to talk to Jen Fessler, and asks Rachel is she annoyed with her? And it's like, well, yes, Jen Fessler is getting into something that's not her fight. She sees, this is my notes are kind of throwing me off. I think this is Rachel tripping about Jen Fessler because she took that really, hard. That Jen went over there to talk to Teresa, and she says she sees Jen Fessler like family, and she's like, Teresa is hurting her and her husband, and Jen Fessler just doesn't see it. And so Louis and Teresa are at the restaurant for Gabriella's going away dinner. And Gabriella and Melania are very close. They're 16 months apart. And that Melania, she was just like her dad. It is good to see that she's growing into her own person. Nate is taking butt shots on the blow-up doll with Belvedere. They're pouring Belvedere, and Jen is at the boardwalk. Frank tells Dolores and Polly that they're going to Costa Rica or somewhere. And he thinks when they go, he's going to propose to Brittany. And so Paul is still looking like he don't really like when Frank talks to Dolores. And Dolores says she's happy for him, but she's looking like, she can't believe he's getting engaged before her. Might be a little bit of, and so even when Frank even says that, he says it to Polly, I think he said to both of them, I can't believe I'm getting engaged before you guys. And so then Polly's like, I got to get divorced first. Well, yeah. Okay. So then Frank and Joe, Gorga, they're talking about their kids going to college and growing up and all that stuff. Then Margaret and Rachel sit down with Jen Fessler. Margaret is teasing Jen Fessler on how she was sitting down with Teresa. Jen Fessler says she was upset because they made a plan to take Louis down. Margaret says he was taken down by his own demise. Rachel tells Jen Fessler that she doesn't owe Teresa any explanation. Marge says in her confessions, Jen just says, "You're a wuss." Just say you're a wuss, Jen, and you get diarrhea at the mouth when confronted. And just say you messed up and it will be fine. You gotta love Marge. Called her a wuss. So then here come Jackie joining them, and she's I think she is trying her darndest to get back on the show, but I don't think it's gonna work. So anyway, so Jen tells her that they're talking about when Marge tells Jen that she speaks poorly of Louis, and then she denies it. And Jackie asks, "Well, why are they getting into it? Why are you getting so worked up over Louis?" So Margaret is like, "Don't have your head up your butt." And just stop sugarcoating this and denying it. Don't speak for Jen Fessler. So she said, "You're missing the point about Teresa." So Jen and Margaret are hollering because they're both trying to get their points across. And Rachel tries to explain to Jen Fessler like what Margaret is trying to tell her. Jen Fessler says, she's like, "What are you doing over there? Like, y'all are close." And Jen says she doesn't handle things the way they do. "I wouldn't just handle it like you." And so she was like, "I will handle things. You want me to handle things your way, and I'm not going to be you." What? Jen Fessler. She says, "I'm not going to do what you want me to do and say it the way you want me to say it." Really, Jen Fessler? Last week, Margaret told you in your backyard, specifically, do not bring my name up to Teresa and vice versa. She's dead to me. Mark is still mad that Louis called her son on his job. She told you how she felt. You turned around 5 seconds later and went over there and polying like a parrot, like a parrot that just got a cracker. "Oh yeah, blah, blah," just because you're so eager to know what happened. And we all know Jen Fessler is like, she's like, "I like Teresa." And you could like her, but you don't. The bargain told you not to talk about her. That's the loyalty is in questioning. Jen, who just turned 55. So Rachel's like, "Well, I just love you so much and I value our friendship. But she's trying to hurt my family." And she starts crying. She's like, "I never tell you. I'm not trying to tell you who to be friends with, but it hurts." That's good. Tell her how you feel. So Jen says, "Baby doll, I don't know what to tell you." What? First of all, baby doll, that's very dismissive when you are confronting someone and you guys are having a back and forth and they call you, normally the word is sweetheart. They call you sweetheart. Yeah, that's not really what you mean. You're being condescending. Baby doll. Baby doll. I got your baby doll. So, and this does hurt because this is the girl that just helped throw your party. Your surprise birthday party, because she sees you as family. Okay, so you call her, "Baby doll, I don't know what to tell you. You wanted me to go in with the guns blazing, huh? And I'm just not that type." That's what Jen Fessler is saying. So Rachel gets up crying because she got to get some air. She's got to remove herself. She got to, compose herself and calm down. Margaret gets up and follows her. And so Margaret just told Jen Fessler, like, "You knew us first. You just met this girl." Jen Fessler is like, "Am I best friends with Teresa?" And so she's trying to tell Jackie, "I'll do anything for those two. I'll do anything for those two." So she's like, "Go find a better friend if you think you can. If you think I'm not a good friend to you, I love you. I'll miss you, but go find." She was saying like, this is a party. It's a whole bunch of women in here. Find another friend. Like, what? Oh God. I'm like, oh, I used to like Jen Fessler. Now I don't think so. So she just needs to learn a hard course in loyalty. Margaret goes to Rachel inside, and Danielle comes in too. And so Rachel is like, I'm hurt, and Jen Fessler says it's baby BS. I'm like, oh, okay. She caught that baby doll comment. Jackie says she's telling Jen Fester, I understand. And so Jen is like, I'm not a bad friend. If you don't like it, there's a party here full of women. Go for it. She's been a good friend and I've had their backs. And what? You didn't have her back last night at Danielle and Nate's party. You did exactly what you told Margaret you would not do. Run the tapes back. They gonna get you. Margaret's gonna get you at the reunion. But they already mad. They was watching you. So Rachel tells Danielle, she appreciates her because she respects her perspective. And even though they're not as close, as her and Jen Fessler are or were, I'm not sure. She's like, I respect where you come from. But she said, I saw Jen as like my best friend. And I'm sitting here like, when did Rachel and Jen Fessler become best friends? But okay. Danielle understands where Rachel is coming from. Margaret says Jen Fessler is afraid and doesn't want it to come back on her. But Danielle says Fessler is swaying in the wind and she would be giving her an earful if that was her. She just swaying in the wind, just swaying in the wind. So Jen Fessler decides she's getting out of here. So she tells Melissa goodbye. Jackie Big Mouth is telling Dolores everything that just happened. Oh, blah, blah. So the next scene, I guess, no, they're still at the party. Antonia is leaving for college in 4 days. The Gorgas taking pictures with their kids. John and Danielle are chatting and they're talking about, all the gatherings that they be around each other, but they haven't really gotten close. He's like, well, I'm closer to your husband than you. And then they all gather to sing happy birthday. And then Joe almost drops his Italian birthday cake. And that was it. It was just like, ooh, Jen Fessler is showing her butt, showing her patookie. And it's just like, you doing all this for Teresa? I just can't see myself at a party not enjoying myself funking over you while you at home in harmony with your family. But I'm here taking the butt for you and all this drama. And I'm glad Melissa was nowhere near it. She did look over and see, because when they was going back and forth, people were looking, but it's just like, okay, girl. Yeah, I'm gonna give this episode, it'll be a C for me, because it was kind of not too much was happening, and that's okay. But now we know where Jen Fessler, where she stands. She's like, if you don't like it, I don't care. I'm not doing what you want me to do. I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm 55 years old and I'm going to live how I live and get it how I get it. I can't wait till next week. We going to see. Okay, guys. Okay, besties. That is the end of this recap, this review of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Let me know what you grade this episode, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, besties.